Okay, here we are talking about one of the problems from tonight's homework. This is number 6, and this is the Justin and Lacey are taking a walk problem. Okay, so Justin and Lacey are fast walkers. Justin's a little faster though. He walks 6 feet in 1 second, and Lacey walks 4 feet in 1 second. But because he thinks he can beat her, he gives her a head start. So we need to see where they intersect. The question is, after how many seconds will Lacey and Justin get next to each other? And then what distance will they have walked? So we're looking for an intersection of two lines. And let's try to make some sense of this before we move on. So he walks 6 feet in a second. So I'm going to compare seconds to feet. And I'm going to say, well, he walks in 1 second, 6 feet, and then 2 seconds, 12, and then you can see in 3 seconds, 18. You see this linear relationship. In fact, this is a proportional relationship, isn't it? 24, and then in 5 seconds he walks 30, and in 6 seconds he's going to walk 36 feet. So I just multiply this each time. You can see this is it's a proportional relationship, so there would be no y-intercept. And each time we move up 6. It's always the same for every 1. Right. Okay, so in fact this has a relationship for a line. And I think you guys might be able to figure that out. We'll get to in a minute. And Lacey walks 4 feet in 1 second, but she has a 10-foot head start. So when she walks, when it's been 1 second, oh, let's do this. When it's 0 seconds, how far is she? Because she has a 10-foot head start, we're going to say she's at 10 feet. When it's 1 second that's passed, then we're going to add 4 feet to that because she's just moved from 10 feet forward. At 2 seconds, let's add another 4 feet on it. So she's at 18. And then at 3 seconds, she's at 22. We can kind of go fast after we get the pattern. 26. Ooh, we're almost there. So 4 seconds, she's still ahead of him. He's only at 24 feet and she's at 26. At 5 seconds, she's at 30. And look, 5 seconds, same time, same place. So they're going to intersect there. And at 6 seconds, actually, he'll be further. Okay. So let's make some points on our graph just to make sense of it. So Justin's going to go at 1 second. I always make time the x-axis because that is the independent variable. Nothing can change time, but how many feet these guys walk depend on what time it is. So looking at what he has, at 1 second he's walked 6 feet, at 2 seconds he's walked 12 feet, at 3 it's 18, and so on. So let's make this into a line. And what is the equation for this line? Well, y equals, or the output equals 6 times, sorry, the output is the y. This is 6 times the x. So I have to multiply the x by 6 to get to y. So I have to say 6 times x equals y. We can write that as a more familiar term, which is y equals 6x. Okay, and then let's do Lacey's line trajectory. So she starts at 0. Make sure you can see this. 0, she's at, like right here, she's already ahead. And then at 1 second, she's at 14 feet. At 2 seconds, she's at 18 feet. And at 3 seconds, she's at 22 feet, so maybe right there. 4 seconds, she's at 26 feet, so she's just barely ahead of him, estimating, and then at 5 seconds, they're both at 30 feet. I know this is not on graph paper, but it just gives you an idea. So the lines are going to look like that. And the solution to this system is where they intersect, right? So what is the equation for this line? Well, it's the output, or the feet she walks, is 4 times the amount of time there is, and then you also add 10. So it's going to be y equals 4x plus 10. So we can already see from our table that they meet at 5 seconds, and the distance they meet at is 30. But let's prove this using systems of equations too, just for the fun of it. And this is what I expect to see in your work for sure, so please take note of this. So we want to find the spot where these two lines meet, y equals 4x plus 10, this system right here. These two things are happening at the same time, and we want to find the spot where they intersect. So we know the y's are going to happen at the same time, even though we don't know what they are. So we're going to set them equal to each other and say that this 6x can be equal to that y, or it can be equal to that y. So 6x is equal to 4x plus 10. Subtract 4x from each side, and we're going to get 2x equals 10. Divide everything by 2, and we get x is equal to 5. So we need to then plug this value back into one of our 2 original equations. Let's choose this because it's pretty easy. And let's say that y is equal to 6 times, and we can put that number there, 5. So what is 6 times 5? It's just 30, so y is equal to 30. So then our solution is 5, 30. And what that means is that they meet when it is 5 seconds, meet at 5 seconds, and how many feet? 30 feet. Okay, now there's a second part to this that says, oh hey, by the way, what if she started even further ahead, which is 32 feet ahead of Justin? I'm going to let you guys try to do that because that is a great challenge question. See you tomorrow.